In the previous video, we showed that the real leverage in the supply chain lies at factory level. That's where price, speed and quality are ultimately determined. But what's starting to happen now is that our team in China is gaining more and more operational control. And that's completely changing the way we work with suppliers. Nina, our new supply chain manager, has officially started in Shenzhen. And one thing immediately stands out. She doesn't just have experience working with suppliers, but also with the factories behind them. That gives her a very different perspective on processes, pricing and collaboration. And that actually led to an interesting moment right away. During a conversation with one of our biggest suppliers, Nina proposed something that almost never happens in this industry. Instead of simply accepting prices as they are, she suggested that the suppliers should actively compare prices across different factories and suppliers themselves. So essentially becoming a Chinese dropshipper within their own network. And that process is now actually being implemented. Why is this interesting? Because it creates far more transparency into the real product cost. Not just the price presented on the table, but the actual market price across multiple factories at the same time. And that's exactly where we want to go. More control, more insight, and ultimately better pricing for our clients. At the same time, we are now entering the next phase when it comes to the audit. On May 19th, Nina and Kevin will conduct a new round of supplier audits together. But this time, the focus is much more specific. We will be going deep into communication and quotation, because in the end, that's what separates an okay supplier from one that is truly scalable. How fast do they respond? How complete are their quotations? How clear is their communication? How well are issues being followed up on? Those are the details where a supply chain either wins or loses. And 2 weeks later, the next step is already planned. Nina will conduct an extensive audit at one of our biggest suppliers. This won't just focus on performance, but also on how we can deepen the partnership for our lead client. Because ultimately, we want to move away from the traditional supplier-client relationship. Meanwhile, the process for the factory manager role is also moving forward. We've already spoken with several strong candidates, but one candidate really stands out. He prepared an extensive case study, has highly relevant experience, and fully understands the direction we are heading in. There is a real chance our China team will soon be fully complete. And that will be a huge step, because then we won't just have control at supplier level, but also direct operational control toward the factories themselves. What you're seeing now is that everything is starting to come together. The structure is in place, the team is growing, the processes are becoming sharper, and control is shifting closer and closer to the source of the supply chain. Not reacting to problems afterwards, but building systems that prevent problems before they happen. And this is still only the beginning. In the coming weeks, we will continue showing more of how we are structuring, controlling and optimizing suppliers and factories. Because in the end, we are not just building a fulfillment solution, we are building an entirely new ecosystem for the e-commerce supply chain. We will take you along for the journey.